Don't overlook those golden and silver-colored $1 coins, Sacagawea and Susan B. Anthony dollars may look common, but some rare dates, mint errors, and high-grade examples are worth far more than $1. Let's uncover which ones you should be checking in your collection. The 1979 US $1 coin is one of those fascinating pieces of American currency that reminds us how even the most ordinary-looking change can hide incredible stories and unimaginable value. To most people, a $1,979 coin is nothing more than the Susan B. Anthony dollar, a piece that was introduced with the intention of being a practical modern coin to replace the dollar bill. Millions were minted, and people used them briefly before the coin largely fell out of favor. But among those millions, a few coins emerged with errors so unique, so rare, that today they have become prized treasures worth far more than their face value. We're not talking about a few hundred or even a few $1,000s. We're talking about coins that have sold at auctions for anywhere between $65,000 and $135,000. That's the astonishing reality of the 1979 US $1 error coin. To understand why the $1,979 coin holds such mystique, we need to step back and look at the context of its release. The coin was the first US coin to feature a real historical woman, the suffragist Susan B. Anthony, who spent her life fighting for women's rights and equality. The US Mint hoped this new dollar coin would be embraced by the public as a bold, progressive, and efficient replacement for the bulky Eisenhower dollar coins that preceded it. Struck in a smaller size, with an 11-sided border meant to help distinguish it from quarters, the Anthony dollar was supposed to mark a new era in American coinage. But instead, the coin became infamous. People confused it constantly with the quarter, vending machines didn't accept it properly, and the general public simply never warmed up to it. As a result, even though the mint produced hundreds of millions of them, the coin fell into obscurity and circulation dwindled. Yet, as so often happens in numismatics, what the public overlooked, collectors eventually rediscovered. And this rediscovery was not about the ordinary coins, but about the rare minting errors hidden among them. Errors in coinage are like fingerprints of history, rare anomalies that speak to moments when machinery faltered or human oversight allowed something unusual to slip through. With the $1,979, these errors included dramatic off-center strikes, doubled dies, coins struck on the wrong planchet, and anomalies in the mint mark itself. One particularly famous variation is the wide rim error, which makes the coin's appearance subtly different but highly prized by collectors. And in certain certified cases, these errors have driven the value of the coin sky high. When collectors gather at auctions and one of these rare 1979 error dollars comes up, bidding escalates quickly, sometimes beginning in the thousands and soaring until the hammer falls at jaw-dropping figures, $65,000 on the low end, and in the most exceptional cases, as much as $135,000. Imagine, for a moment, holding a coin you thought was worth just $1. You keep it in a drawer, or it sits at the bottom of a change jar for years. One day, you decide to take a closer look and notice something unusual about the edge, the strike, or the mint mark. You take it to a coin dealer, who examines it under magnification, and your heart skips when you hear the words. This isn't just a regular Susan B. Anthony dollar. It's a rare error specimen. And that little piece of metal could suddenly be worth enough to pay off debts, buy a new car, or even put a down payment on a house. That is the magic of coins like the 1979 US $1 error. Auction houses have told stories of such discoveries turning ordinary people into fortunate sellers overnight. Collectors with deep pockets are willing to pay staggering amounts because these coins are not only rare but also historically important. They represent the very first year of the Susan B. Anthony dollar, tied to an iconic figure in American history, combined with mistakes in production that will never be repeated. That unique cocktail of history, rarity, and error gives them a level of desirability that ordinary coins can never match. When the gavel falls and the winning bid hits $100,000 or more, it becomes clear why people devote their lives to searching through rolls of coins in banks, flea markets, or family collections. The excitement around this coin is also fueled by the fact that errors come in many forms. Some collectors chase the dramatic off-center errors where part of the design is missing. Others look for doubled features where Roosevelt's profile or the lettering seems shadowed, and others fixate on rarer wrong planchet strikes where the dollar design was mistakenly struck on metal intended for a quarter or half dollar. Each of these errors tells a unique story and creates its own market niche. But regardless of the specific type, when it comes to the 1979 US dollar, all of them can push the value into breathtaking territory. And again, in many verified cases, the coin has been valued and sold between $65,000 and $135,000. What's particularly compelling about the $1,979 is that it serves as a lesson to everyone who handles change. Don't underestimate what you're holding. The Anthony dollar is one of those coins most Americans have forgotten about. And yet within that forgotten series lie treasures that can transform someone's financial outlook. Professional grading companies like PCGS and NGC have certified these errors, ensuring authenticity and assigning conditions that help determine final auction prices. A 1979 error dollar graded in mint state with the right error can easily reach the six-figure mark, while even lower-grade examples can still shock owners by fetching tens of thousands. Collectors today regard the $1,979 error coin as not only a piece of numismatic art but also a piece of American social history. Susan B. Anthony's portrait on the coin marked a turning point in recognizing women's contributions in U.S. currency. That historical symbolism, combined with the irony of the coin's general unpopularity, adds depth to its narrative. And when you layer in the presence of rare minting errors, it transforms the coin into a kind of numismatic paradox. Unpopular in circulation, yet priceless in certain forms. For those listening right now, this is an invitation to action. Check your collections, revisit the boxes of coins tucked away in closets, and even glance more carefully at any Susan B. Anthony dollars you come across in circulation. Don't dismiss them as failed experiments of U.S. coinage, because hidden among them could be a rare specimen that collectors around the world are willing to pay six figures for. Remember, values for these 1979 U.S. $1 error coins have been confirmed in the extraordinary range of $65,000 to $135,000. That's a life-changing amount of money tied to a coin that many people overlook or disregard. The allure of coin collecting lies in moments like this, where history, rarity, and fortune collide in the palm of your hand. The $1,979 may have failed in circulation, but in the hands of collectors and at auction houses, it has more than redeemed itself. It has become a legend in the world of errors, a reminder that treasures are often hiding in plain sight, waiting for someone with curiosity and a sharp eye to bring them to light. So the next time you see the familiar face of Susan B. Anthony staring back at you from a dollar coin, take a closer look. Inspect the rim, the strike, the details of the mint mark, because that small act of attention could uncover one of the rarest treasures in modern coinage. And who knows, maybe you'll be the next person to hold in your hand a coin that turns out to be worth not just $1, but as much as $135,000. That is the thrill of the hunt, the power of numismatics, and the extraordinary story of the 1979 US $1 error coin. When it comes to the world of coin collecting, every once in a while, a story emerges that captures the imagination not only of numismatists but of ordinary people who begin to realize that even the most unassuming coins in circulation can carry life-changing value. Among these remarkable tales is the 2000 US Sacagawea $1 coin error. On its surface, it looks like a simple golden-colored dollar, one that many Americans briefly encountered in everyday transactions at the turn of the millennium. But for those who know the story behind the error varieties of this coin, it is anything but ordinary. Some examples of the 2000 Sacagawea dollar with unique minting errors have stunned collectors and investors alike by commanding extraordinary values ranging from $60,000 to as much as $130,000 at auction. A figure that turns heads and makes people think twice about what they might have sitting in a drawer or tucked away in an old wallet. The Sacagawea dollar, introduced in 2000, was a bold attempt by the U.S. Mint to breathe new life into the dollar coin. The design honored Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who guided Lewis and Clark on their expedition, symbolizing bravery, guidance, and the vital role Native Americans played in American history. Sculptor Glenna Goodacre's obverse portrait of Sacagawea carrying her infant son Jean-Baptiste struck a powerful chord, while the reverse displayed a soaring eagle, representing freedom and the nation's spirit. The coin was distinctive for its golden color, produced by bonding a copper core with a manganese brass outer layer. giving it a warm glow that set it apart from ordinary coins. Despite the elegance of the design, the public largely rejected the coin for daily use, preferring paper dollars. Yet while most people ignored them, collectors began to notice that some of these coins were not struck like the others. The most famous error of the 2000p Sacagawea dollar is known as the mule error. A mule is a coin struck with mismatched dies, two sides that were never meant to appear together. In this incredible mistake, the obverse of a Washington quarter was paired with the reverse of the Sacagawea dollar. Imagine holding a coin that on one side has George Washington's familiar profile, and on the other side, instead of the standard quarter reverse, you see the majestic eagle of the Sacagawea dollar. This error should never have happened, but somehow, at the Philadelphia Mint in 2000, dies were mismatched, and a small number of these mule coins escaped into circulation. Collectors were astounded when the first examples surfaced, and the numismatic world erupted with excitement. For perspective, errors of this magnitude are exceedingly rare. The U.S. Mint has elaborate systems in place to prevent such mismatches, yet the pressure and speed of mass production can occasionally allow anomalies to slip through. And when they do, the result is a coin unlike anything else. A coin that collectors will pay astronomical sums to own. That is why the 2000p Sacagawea mule dollar has been valued at staggering amounts. Depending on condition and auction competition, prices have been recorded between $60,000 and $130,000, making it one of the most valuable modern error coins in U.S. history. The discovery of these mule errors reads almost like a treasure hunt. The first example reportedly surfaced from a coin roll obtained at a bank, and once word spread, collectors and treasure hunters began scouring rolls of Sacagawea dollars and Washington quarters, hoping to find another. The excitement was palpable because it reminded people that incredible fortunes could be hiding in plain sight. A coin meant for everyday transactions, a dollar coin many considered a failure in circulation, had suddenly become one of the hottest collectibles in the country. Imagine the surprise of someone who simply picked up a Sacagawea dollar in change, noticed something unusual about it, and later discovered it was worth the down payment on a house or more. Auction houses have recorded spirited battles over these coins, with prices climbing higher as collectors realize how limited the supply is. Unlike ordinary errors like off-center strikes or die cracks, a mule coin represents a complete crossover of two denominations, something that should be virtually impossible. This rarity fuels competition, and when only a handful of examples exist, demand quickly outweighs supply. That's why the Sacagawea mule dollar can fetch $60,000 on the low end and soar to $130,000 when two determined collectors face off in an auction house. The allure of the coin goes beyond its financial value. It is also symbolic. Sacagawea's image represents guidance, strength, and resilience, and for her likeness to be part of one of the most famous mint errors in modern history adds another layer of intrigue. Collectors aren't just buying a coin. They're buying a piece of history, a story of how the U.S. Mint, despite its precision, produced something so rare that it captured headlines. They are buying the thrill of owning something few others will ever see in person. And they are buying the investment potential of a coin whose rarity ensures that its value will remain strong for generations. For the everyday person, the story of the 2000p Sacagawea mule dollar serves as a reminder that treasures may be closer than they think. Somewhere out there, perhaps in a forgotten coin jar or an old roll of change, another example could be waiting to be discovered. The possibility alone fuels the imaginations of collectors and casual hobbyists alike. It's a perfect example of how the most mundane objects in our lives can hold extraordinary potential when viewed through the right lens. The 2000p Sacagawea dollar error is also a lesson in paying attention to detail. Most people would glance at their change without a second thought. But those who take the time to notice differences, to spot mismatches, are the ones who uncover hidden value. That quarter you think is ordinary might not be a quarter at all. It could be half of one of the most famous mule coins in existence. Stories like this inspire a new generation of coin hunters, teaching them that careful observation and patience can lead to extraordinary rewards. Collectors know that the market for error coins is strong, and the Sacagawea mule dollar sits at the top of that market. Its dramatic design mix-up, combined with the small number of known specimens, guarantees its legendary status. Each time one appears for sale, the numismatic community buzzes with speculation about how high the price will go. Will it bring $60,000? Will it break $130,000? The uncertainty adds drama, and that drama only increases the allure of owning such a coin. Think about it. A dollar coin that the public never truly embraced, transformed into one of the most celebrated error coins of modern times. It is the ultimate irony, and it makes the Sacagawea mule dollar one of the greatest stories in American numismatics. Those who hold one not only possess a valuable asset but also a story to tell for the rest of their lives. And that story continues to inspire collectors, reminding them that every coin has the potential to be more than just pocket change. It could be a ticket to history, to prestige, and to wealth. So the next time you come across a Sacagawea dollar, especially one minted in 2000 with a Philadelphia mint mark, take a closer look. Pay attention to the details, check both sides, and don't dismiss it as just another coin. Because hidden in the details might be one of the most extraordinary mint errors ever released. And if you happen to be the one to find it, you could be holding something worth between $60,000 and $130,000. Something that transforms an ordinary moment into one you'll never forget. When most people think of the Sacagawea $1 coin, they picture the bright golden tone, the image of Sacagawea carrying her child Jean-Baptiste, and a coin that never quite found its way into daily circulation like the mint had hoped. But what many don't realize is that hidden within this series of coins lies one of the most exciting chapters in modern numismatics. Among the 2009 issues, certain Sacagawea $1 coins left the U.S. Mint with astonishing errors, and these pieces have become some of the most desirable modern rarities in the collecting world. While the average 2009 Sacagawea dollar might be worth only face value, those rare error coins have commanded extraordinary sums at auction, ranging from $50,000 all the way up to $120,000 depending on the error type and the condition. And that fact alone has sparked the imagination of collectors and everyday people alike, making this coin one of the most talked about modern treasures. The Sacagawea dollar was first introduced in 2000, replacing the Susan B. Anthony dollar, which had failed to win public acceptance. The U.S. Mint wanted something bold, unique, and culturally significant. They chose Sacagawea, the Shoshone woman who served as a guide and interpreter for the Lewis and Clark expedition. The design was striking. Sacagawea in profile with her infant son on her back, an image symbolizing courage and history, while the reverse featured a soaring eagle. By 2009, the series had been given new life through the Native American $1 coin program, which changed the reverse design annually to highlight important Native American contributions to U.S. history. That year, the reverse depicted an image of a Native American woman planting seeds of corn, beans, and squash, the three sisters that symbolized agriculture and sustenance. But even with this renewed artistic direction, the mint's production process was not immune to human and mechanical errors. The 2009 Sacagawea dollar errors came in several dramatic forms. There were double dies, where parts of the design appeared shifted or doubled due to a misalignment in the die hubbing process. There were wrong planchet errors, where a Sacagawea design was mistakenly struck on a blank intended for a different denomination. There were also off-center strikes, where the design was visibly misaligned, leaving blank crescent-shaped areas on the coin. Each of these mistakes created coins that collectors instantly recognized as rare, unique, and highly valuable. And when they surfaced at auctions, they stunned everyone by selling for staggering amounts. Sometimes $50,000, sometimes $90,000, and in the most dramatic cases, even hitting $120,000. The excitement surrounding these coins is not just about the money. It's also about the thrill of discovery. Imagine a collector searching through a roll of golden dollars from the bank, expecting nothing more than ordinary 2009 issues, when suddenly they notice something strange. Perhaps Sacagawea's features appear doubled, or the reverse design looks partially cut off, or the edge lettering seems missing or misaligned. What at first seems like a curiosity could turn out to be one of those rare treasures worth tens of thousands of dollars. And the thought that a coin worth $1 at the grocery store could suddenly be worth up to $120,000 is the kind of dream that keeps collectors engaged, searching, and hopeful. To understand why the 2009 errors are so significant, it helps to know that error coins are much rarer today than in earlier decades. Advances in technology and stricter quality control at the U.S. Mint mean that mistakes are less likely to escape into circulation. This makes any modern error coin far more desirable because of the low probability of its existence. When one does slip through, it becomes a phenomenon. Collectors worldwide recognize how unusual it is, and they clamor to own a piece of that history. That's why the 2009 Sacagawea Dollar error coins have achieved such legendary status, because they combine modern rarity, historical significance, and the possibility of astronomical value. Auction houses have documented some jaw-dropping sales of these errors. In one memorable case, a 2009 Sacagawea struck on a foreign planchet surfaced, and the bidding war quickly drove the price beyond $50,000. In another case, a spectacular off-center strike sold for more than $80,000, shocking even veteran collectors. And the crown jewel of them all, a pristine example of a dramatic double-die error, reached the incredible sum of $120,000 at auction. These numbers are not fantasy. They are real-world confirmations of just how valuable these coins can be when rarity, demand, and condition come together in the right way. For everyday people, the story of the 2009 Sacagawea Dollar error serves as a reminder that treasures can be hiding in plain sight. Coins like these are not locked away in museums or private vaults from the start. They often begin their journey in circulation, passing from hand to hand before someone sharp-eyed spots the mistake. The thrill is knowing that at any moment, anyone could make the discovery of a lifetime. A coin pulled from a cash register drawer, a coin tossed into a tip jar, a coin left in a change machine could be the very same one that turns out to be worth $50,000 or even $120,000. That possibility is what keeps collectors checking their change and keeps the story of the Sacagawea error alive. There is also a deeper meaning behind the fascination with these coins. The Sacagawea dollar was meant to honor an important figure in American history, someone who symbolized guidance, resilience, and strength. The errors themselves, though unintentional, almost seem to add a layer of uniqueness to that legacy. Just as Sacagawea's journey with Lewis and Clark was filled with challenges, detours, and unexpected turns, so too did these coins take an unusual path. Instead of being ordinary dollar coins, they became symbols of rarity, perseverance, and reward. And for collectors, owning such a coin is more than just owning a piece of metal. It is owning a story, a moment of history, and a piece of luck that not everyone will ever have. As time passes, these 2009 Sacagawea errors will only grow more significant. Coins are lost, damaged, or tucked away into private collections, reducing the number available on the market. Scarcity always drives demand, and demand always drives value. That's why the current range of $50,000 to $120,000 is likely only the beginning. In the years ahead, as more collectors realize how rare these coins truly are, prices could climb even higher. What seems unimaginable today could be commonplace tomorrow. Just as other error coins from past decades have shocked the collecting world with their valuations, the 2009 Sacagawea Dollar error is positioned to do the same in the future. So the next time you come across a 2009 Sacagawea Dollar, take a close look. Check the edges for errors in the lettering. Examine the strike to see if it's misaligned. Look for doubling in the design. What may seem like a simple dollar could actually be one of the most valuable coins of our time. The idea that a coin intended for everyday use could instead be worth $120,000 is almost unbelievable, but it is precisely this kind of story that makes coin collecting so fascinating. The 2009 Sacagawea error coin is a reminder that the extraordinary often hides within the ordinary, waiting only for someone attentive enough to notice.